As we move to week 4 in ACC football, both Louisville and Virginia have 2-1 records. Today, they start conference play. So we welcome you to Charlottesville for an Atlantic Coastal clash. The Cards and Cavs coming up next on a college football Saturday. We've got a beautiful September Saturday, and it's Military Appreciation Day at Scott Stadium. And Louisville is in town, and for just the 5th time in 13 years, Virginia opens their ACC schedule at home as the Cavaliers welcome the Cards, and we welcome you to ACC football on this 4th Saturday in September as the Cards at 2-1 meet the Cavaliers at 2-1 in the first ACC game for both schools. We welcome you upstairs. Great to be with James Bates. You'll meet Rebecca Capel here in just a moment. Sometimes on these shows, we tell you it's about the quarterback. But today, we really mean it because both schools have received a lot of energy, James, from quarterback play. Virginia started the year with Bryce Perkins, and today, Malik Cunningham makes his starting debut for Louisville.
Let's start with Virginia. When Bronco Mendenhall and Robert and I went out looking for a guy to replace quarterback from the last few years, Kurt Benkert, they wanted a guy that was, well, the fastest guy on the team, one of the strongest on the team, most explosive on the team. As you can imagine, he's not right around the corner. So they had to go all the way out the JUCO route to Arizona Western to find Bryce Perkins, and he is exactly that. There you see his numbers so far through just 3 games of play. He's taking care of the football as well. He's more than a dual threat quarterback. Don't even call him a dual threat quarterback here in this building. They'll get mad at you. But he can do it all, and most importantly, maybe he's taking care of that football. There you see 0 interceptions. He's got to hang on to it as well. Well, we all knew at this point in the season that it wouldn't be Lamar Jackson starting for Bobby Petrino's Louisville Cardinals, but we all thought that it would be Juwan Puma Pass. It just hasn't been enough fire there with this football team when he's been in, but it has been when number 3 comes in the game. The redshirt freshman, Malik Cunningham, will remind you of Lamar Jackson on the ground. He's got to make some throws, so we're going to find out today if he can do just that. 129 on the ground in the come-from-behind win, and with the big spark to ignite his team last week against Western Kentucky. But playmakers have to make plays for him. They've done it at Virginia, but they haven't yet at Louisville.
Well, it's interesting because, as we said at the top, Rebecca, both schools are 2-1. But 2-1 never felt so different with 2 different teams.
No, that's right, Wes. And you know, this first ACC clash of the season is very important. But coaches from both schools really looking for so much more than just a win here today. For Louisville, Coach Bobby Petrino is hoping to establish some sort of identity offensively. So far, there's just been a lack of consistency, energy, and execution of basic fundamentals. So he's counting on that change at QB to get his team on track. For Virginia, it's about a much bigger picture. Coach Mendenhall has changed the culture here. He has the players he needs for his scheme, but he's looking for progress every single week. Can his team take the next step and get to back-to-back bowl games for the first time in 14 seasons? So this game here today, a character week for both schools, but for much different reasons, guys.
Well, great stuff, Rebecca. And Louisville won the toss and elected to receive, James. So we'll get to the energy of Malik Cunningham right from the jump as Bobby Petrino's team comes in here today after a 3-point win over Western Kentucky. And, of course, Virginia beat Ohio and Nashville. ACC football presented for you today by your local Ford dealer. Just the 7th meeting all time. 5th time they've met as member institutions of the Atlantic Coast Conference. And the kick away from Brian Delaney. And there will be no return for the Cards, Hassan Hall. And so we get a look right away at the redshirt freshman from Park Crossing High School in Montgomery, Alabama. And Bobby Petrino sends Malik Cunningham out. And here are today's Ford keys, James.
Well, 3's the magic number they're hoping for the Cardinals, and 3 as in third down needs to be a magic number. 3rd is the word. Louisville, bottom of the barrel, offensively and defensively on 3rd down. And for Virginia, they've got to be curveball hitters. They haven't faced these sudden change instances, especially on defense, very well. That's how Ohio got some big plays on them last week.
Opening carry for Day Williams, and he got chopped down by Juan Thornhill, who is becoming a storyline for the Virginia defense of coordinators or co-coordinators Nick Howell and Kelly Poppinga, James.
Yeah, Thornhill is, you know, Quinn Blanding was there for so long, and you could count on him from that safety spot to drop him. I think Thornhill is even more athletic than Blanding.
Williams again. Digs out toward the 30, maybe the 30 and a half, a pickup of 6. Brenton Nelson, who will also be active in that secondary. There's a look at 28, redshirt sophomore from Miami, who already has an interception to his credit.
Andy Alonso needs to break down and take an angle and go drop that back there. He was free and unblocked. And right off the bat, here's our first look at a 3rd down and medium. Young Malik Cunningham in his first start.
Keep an eye on the big tight end at the bottom of the screen here. Kamari Everett. Cunningham off the pads and hands of Jalen Smith. 3 and out goes Louisville, James. And they put Smith up to bat, the most talented and most veteran of their wide receivers.
Virginia brings a blitz. The big guys up front do an excellent job of picking him up. Here comes the blitz. No pressure there. All the time that Cunningham needs. And just the guy that usually you need for Louisville, Jalen Smith. He had a big drop last week. It's just unlike him, the senior from Pascagoula. He's too good of a receiver, and it means too much right now to these quarterbacks, both Pass and Cunningham. These guys dropping balls is just crushing this football team. That's an easy first down.
Number 2 punter in the ACC's Mason King, and Chuck Davis juggles it but holds on at the 24. 45-yard punt. And here comes Bryce Perkins, Batesy.
Well, he's an outstanding young man, not only on the football field, but really enjoyed sitting down with him yesterday. And you can see why at ACC Media Days, even though he wasn't there, his teammates and his head coach, they just couldn't say enough about him as a leader. Ever since he stepped on campus, he's been one of the hardest workers. It's a pretty hard-working bunch if you know anything about Bronco Mendenhall's team. That says a lot.
Here's the base look for Robert Anai, and it's Perkins. And he'll throw incomplete toward Alameda Zacchaeus. Over in front of the Louisville bench, so it's quickly 2nd down and 10. James, I noticed in his 25 of 30 effort last week in Nashville against Ohio, he could have been 28 of 30 for about 400 yards. He had a couple of drops and threw and hit guys in the hands. They just couldn't latch onto it.
You know, the game as a whole, even though they dominated the majority of that first half, there were some dropped interceptions by Virginia as well. It could have been a lot uglier. And at the very least, it should have been about a 35-point lead. Instead, it was a 14-point lead thanks to some big plays by Ohio.
Perkins from the pocket shoots it. Cowley out to the 30. It'll leave Virginia with 3rd and about 4 to go.
Well, there you see the big body, and taller than Malik Cunningham. He can stand up above those big trees there in front of him, and sits coolly to find Cowley. Just setting it down right there in the middle of the defense, and here's a 3rd down for Broncos troops now. Louisville with those young guys trying to get a 3 and out of their own. Sorry, Wes.
Chris Sharp is coming to the backfield here for this 3rd down. Perkins going to cut it loose, and backside the catch is made. That's Devontae Cross. And a 1st down, and now a flag is thrown in behind that 20-yard completion. And David Epperly's crew sorts it out. First time we'll hear from the veteran ACC referee.
Targeting on the defense, number 30. That play is under further review.
That is Kane Pass, the redshirt junior from Columbus, Georgia.
Puma's brother. Let's take another look at it here on the end. And Perkins does a nice job just putting that ball out there easy in between the zone. And you know, this is a defense that can't afford to lose anybody. They're so young as it is. Maybe we can see that targeting one more time. Not that it's going to change their minds up here in the booth, but you're breaking down and you know, what makes it so tough. What makes it so tough is you're taught to get that hat across when you make the tackle. the ball carrier decides to go low as well. If he doesn't decide to go low, I mean, it's perfect form tackling. It's helmet to helmet, and I don't see how they're going to overturn it.
Well, it looks like the front third of the crown too, James. And when you see that, that's like one of the trigger points in the rule, I think.
But what is so tough as a defender is when you come see him motor down. He's got good bend, takes away the angle.
After the game for targeting, 15 yards will be added to the end of the run. First down.
And Kane pass on the third play of the ball game. The redshirt junior at 38 tackles last year has been ejected from the ball game.
Ah, shoot. I feel bad for the guy. It's not like he meant to go up there and light someone up and hurt him. At the end of the day, yeah, that's the rule, and it's what it was called down on the field, so they can't reverse it. But you hate to see it, and you hate to see it for this Louisville Cardinal bunch. D. Smith is banged up. London Iakopo, fortunately, he's okay, but will not play today. The other two safeties.
First 10-10, Perkins. Sliding grab, Tavares Kelly. The young freshman, 25 yards. Kelly's been doing bang-up work in special teams, James, but they said yesterday he might get a chance from scrimmage.
How about the bang-up job by that offensive line? One more time, protecting Big Bryce Perkins. He leads them a little bit more, and it's a touchdown, but let's not get nitpicky because they're knocking on the door here. First and 10
in the CPI security red zone for Virginia. Cavaliers, 7 touchdowns, 1 field goal, and 11 red zone tries this year. And that's Jordan Ellis. With 3 minutes gone here in this first period, and Cavaliers right to work on their opening possession for Bronco Mendenhall. Now in his 3rd season, 14th overall, did a marvelous 99 and 43 worksheet, including 11 bowl trips when he was the head coach at BYU. 2 tight ends, 2nd and goal. Joe Reed sneaks into the backfield. Perkins off a blitz, now in trouble, and he'll be taken down back at the 15. Great pressure by Louisville, Cabin at one end, and then D. Smith, who you spoke of earlier, James.
Well, Perkins looks right, and it's almost like he was trying to set it up and run to the left side design. He looks over to the left, and immediately Brian Van Gorder's got the blitz on, and you see D. Smith right there in his face.
So now all of a sudden Virginia 3rd and goal off its 15. Zacchaeus to the boundary, Cowley and Cross. And now the Cavaliers slide another guy out there. And underthrown to Sharp here in the flat. And incomplete, and A.J. Mejia, the sophomore, will be asked to try and cover the rest of this for Bronco Mendenhall's club.
That's a win for this Louisville defense. They gave up some yards. They've got a lot of new pieces in new places with the injuries, and they weather losing Kane pass to the targeting call, yet they still stiffen down low and hold them to a field goal try.
32-yard try. And it is no good from Mejia. He's now 1 of 4 on the year, and we get a timeout. 10:36 to go, opening period. Each school's had it once. No score at Charlottesville. Well, it was a gorgeous Saturday morning here in Charlottesville as our crew got here to set us up to bring you ACC football. And, well, what a nice moment here during the timeout. Tony Bennett and the Cavaliers, not only the tournament champions last year at Barclays Center in Brooklyn, they were the regular season champions. Great to see Coach Bennett and his team as they get ready for practice to open at the front of the month. And after the missed field goal, Louisville takes over at its 20. And here is Cunningham doing Malik Cunningham type things. 7 yards before Joey Blunt hit it. And James, here's that field goal a moment ago.
Yeah, and mishandled there on a little bit slow and throwing the kicker timing off just a little bit. It was a good snap, and it could have been smoother going down, that's for sure, but missed nonetheless. So we're still tied at 0 after Virginia marched it right down the field on that opening drive, and a nice first down run by Cunningham.
And that time, Jalen Smith hauls it in. Louisville a first down out to the 39. 11-yard throw. Over there on the far side, Charles Snowden.
Wes, I like the fact that they go right back to Smith. Big man, hey, it happens. Take a breath. Let's get out of this funk. Let's go right back to him. That was a huge connection. May not look like it so much outside looking in, but I'll guarantee you they have exhaled over on that Louisville sidelines after that catch.
Now Cunningham wants to throw here, and now all of a sudden the release comes. And he'll scramble up the field for about 5 yards. 2nd and 5, Rebecca.
Well, James, you mentioned the timing of that last pass a couple plays ago. Malik's been practicing with the second team all spring and fall, so this was really the first week he ran exclusively with the first team at practice. He told me there is chemistry, but he did say getting that timing down to a T is a work in progress.
Well, and Bobby Petrino, Rebecca told us yesterday that, you know what, you could tell that he hasn't been running those first team reps because he was fatigued on Tuesday and Wednesday. So that could be an issue as we get into the second half. It's really muggy down there today.
First down give, and this is the big back, Jeremy Smith, redshirt senior from Hammond, Louisiana. Got a yard or two and then got knocked back by Jordan Mack, who makes his 26th career start today.
It's going to be a dogfight throughout the day. That big bruising offensive line. Look at them all move, those big bodies. Good-looking offensive line, and a good job by Mack to shuck his blocker, would-be blocker, and make the tackle. But still, you've got a 3rd down and 2. It was a big connection on 3rd and medium last time with the pass. Let's see what they dial up here.
They're a 2 tight set on the right. That's Mickey Crum in motion, the 3rd tight end. They're going to hand it to Jeremy Smith, and Juan Thornhill leads the Virginia tacklers, and I think Cavaliers might be a step short here as Snowden got in there. They had to get to the 49, James.
Well, they're a yard short. It's a 4th down, but if Bobby Petrino is going to go for it deep in his own territory last weekend on 4th and 3 against Western Kentucky, they talked about setting the tone with that offensive line, with that running game, being physical early. This is how you set the tone. This is a big play in this football game. Here with 7:37 left in the first quarter.
Play clock at 10. Cunningham wants to keep it, tries to scoot through. I think he might have broken the plane of the 49. We'll see. Louisville thinks right away he got it.
Tackle made by the Cavaliers.
And in fact, he touched the 49 on the spot, so indeed it is a first down for the Cards.
Wow, how slippery is number 3. He even goes the wrong way on the fake. And still able, looks like he's going to be dropped right here. You've got a good angle coming off the edge by the defender. That was Thornhill again. What happens? You go a little bit too wide. You don't scrape right off that defensive end's button. That's what happens. Too much space.
Virginia brought some pressure that time from Chris Peace. And it chased Cunningham up in the pocket, James, really for no gain. Mandy Alonzo, the guy who made the tackle, but I thought Peace was the guy that created the traffic.
Well, Chris Peace doesn't get enough credit for everything that he does. He'll really disrupt what you're trying to do to this defense. Another good leader. When you talk about who are the leaders, who are the guys that make this thing go, one of the first names you've heard the last couple of years around here from Bronco Mendenhall is that of Chris Peace.
Hassan Hall's coming to the ball game. He's in the backfield with Cunningham. Option play. Kept it. Got to the 45 of Virginia. Thornhill the stop. Boy, it's pretty imposing when it's 2-on-1 there, isn't it, James?
Yeah, and you know, Malik does a good job here of going with the numbers. They've got fewer bodies over here. He's going to fake the pitch, put his foot in the grass. And you can't coach that. You cannot coach the burst that we've seen here on a couple plays early by Malik Cunningham.
Another big 3rd down for Louisville.
Remember, we told you early that this is one of the worst teams in the country on 3rd down. They're 1 of 2.
Out in the flat, Jeremy Smith. And Virginia rallies to it. Cavaliers got there. Snowden was there. Bryce Hall, the boundary corner, fought his way through traffic.
Here's a nice job. They try to stretch him and get him outside. It's one thing that Louisville really felt like they could have success with, getting guys out there in open space. And I beg your pardon, 0 for on third down. And 0 for 3 now for Louisville. So not a good start. They're trying to stay on the football field on third downs.
Chuck Davis stands at the 10. Mason King tries to flip this one over. Davis will let it hit. Checks up nicely for Louisville. And the Cards will down it inside the 10. 4:35 to go. 39-yard punt by King. No score in Charlottesville. Cavaliers touch it for a second time after this.
That's right, Wes. I'm with Vice Admiral Kevin Donegan. He just recently retired as a U.S. Navy commander after 38 years of serving this country. You're a highly decorated commander, but it all began right here at Virginia.
Yes, it did. I was very fortunate to graduate here in 1980 and excited to be back today.
And you were part of the coin toss before the game. What was that like?
Oh, it was exciting. We lost the coin toss then, so maybe they won't have me back next time.
They might have you back. I don't know. You looking back at your service, is there a particular mission that stands out to you that was most rewarding during your time?
Well, certainly. And I would say it's probably not the mission. It was the chance and opportunity to serve alongside all of the sons and daughters and husbands and wives of America and to have the support of all of the United States behind us when we were doing it. That was the most exciting thing for me.
You've obviously been in battle, done some serious time on that front. These guys are out here, your team's out here in battle right now. If you can give them some advice, what would it be?
It's pretty simple. Win.
That's easy. All right, when you hear that from a Vice Admiral, you do it. Guys, I'll send it back up to you, and thank you so much for your service.
Thanks, Rebecca.
Thank you, Rebecca. Thanks to Admiral Donegan. You see Jordan Ellis and then Vice Admiral Kevin Donegan retired in the front end of August. My goodness. Thank you, sir, for your tremendous leadership and to our men and women in the armed forces in this country.
Absolutely. And we were looking forward to a flyover that they had to scrap today, so they owe us one. That would have made it extra special. But how about Jordan Ellis there, Wes, putting his foot in the ground and going east and west. He's a north-south guy, but made a nice-looking move in open field there, making a third and short.
Here's Perkins, very elusive now. Third down on the edge. He'll pick up the first down. He beat Okeke to the corner that time, James. And Brian Van Gorder, the Louisville defensive coordinator, talked about this very thing yesterday.
Absolutely. Well, it's Okeke is the backer starting there at middle linebacker. He's got so much going on there in his mind. You know, it's kind of tough. You think so much. You worry so much about your assignment, and you almost freeze up, and there's no way you can go get the angle on a guy like Perkins when he decides to tuck it and run. Nobody out there for him, and an easy pickup on first down. And not an easy job for Okeke today after Hicks and Etheridge were hurt.
There's Jordan Ellis again, just banging away. He'll have almost 5 on first down. Dermerville Jean with the stop. And we've got an injured Cavalier, and that is Chris Glasser, who's down. Back to Charlottesville in a moment. 2:31 to go first period. They help Chris Glasser to the 10. We'll try and get a report on him. Don't forget another edition of ACC All Access this week on your regional sports network. Duke football off to a great start, but how can they avoid last season's pitfalls? Plus, we check in on ACC men's soccer where Wake Forest looks awesome. #1 in the country and looking at another potentially record-setting season. Second down, out of the timeout to help Glasser off the field. 5 for the first down, and here's Perkins. Around the edge, first down, and a marker down at the 32 as he steps out 5 yards beyond that. Trason Smith shoved him out for the Cards.
Illegal block below the waist on the offense. Number 54, 15-yard penalty, first down. Second down.
That's Ryan Nelson making his 4th career start today for Bronco Mendenhall's team. James, it's interesting when you look at Virginia's offensive line. Rankensmeyer, 15th career start today. Jake Filer, 18. And beyond that, really a lot of young guys.
Yeah, that's not the case when you look at Louisville's guys. They've got a lot of experience up front. And they just lost a guy just a second ago in Glasser.
Yep.
Got mixed up in the pile. And what was otherwise a good-looking play, it's going to come back the other way. So a second down and long now for Perkins and the Hoos.
That's Zacchaeus in motion to the slot. Perkins to the edge, and Dubois could not hang on. Just like last Saturday in Nashville, James, Perkins puts it on the money. The back end, though, couldn't secure it.
Well, a couple times. He's going to roll left. And on the fly going left, he's able to put it right on the money in between there in the zone. And Dubois, we've already had a drop from Louisville. Here's one on Dubois. Now, Virginia, when you look at third downs, they've been 2 for 2. And again, right on the money on offense for Louisville, defensively as well. They're not only last in the ACC, but in the country as well. They got to find a way to get off here on third down and forever.
Perkins in trouble, up in the pocket, flag down. Another flag as Perkins is brought down shy of the 25.
Good thing they're out of flags, or they might have thrown another targeting there. You had go up top. It's
a hold on Virginia. And it'll be declined by Bobby Petrino, I think.
Offense. Number 79. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
This is Rankensmeyer.
It's right in the middle of the screen here. And well, he had him locked up. Yeah.
Well, Lester Coleman to punt. And be careful now, because Rajay Burns is #1 in the ACC and 4th nationally in punt return average.
This will be a nice matchup here, because this is the only special teams that Bronco Mendenhall is really happy with, is his punt cover team. Better get down here.
Coleman. Low wobbly kick. Burns at the 35. Rajay Burns in traffic. And finally, Cavaliers fenced him in pretty quick. Joe Reed was down there, #2, 40-yard punt, just a 3-yard return. And that's a bigger win than one might think, because Rajay Burns has been making people pay here lately.
You know, it's one thing to get everybody down there, but it's another thing to keep those angles. See how everybody's in their lanes? Makes a guy miss. Boom, 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 boom. Good job. Guys not kind of freelancing, going willy-nilly and trying to do their own thing. Everybody playing within the system, and that's why Bronco Mendenhall said our punt team, he feels like, has been great. The other special teams, though, have been average so far.
Cunningham wants to throw. In the pocket. Took a shot, and it was either Fitzpatrick or Smith, the two guys who were level in the pattern downfield for the Cards.
Where they come after the young man here, or what? He's going to stand in there. He's going to take quite a pop. And when you only weigh 190, maybe 6'1", 190 is what he's listed at. He go down a little bit harder and easier. Hitting that turf, but he's popped right back up. Here's a 2nd down and 10. Got to be careful just throwing that one away. It hits the turf, but sometimes you're going to have to eat it. You have to pick up that blitz as well. You can't let the quarterback take shots. He's going to take enough just running it every time.
And here's Cunningham on the keeper, and Snowden stays home. You can tell, James, that Nick Howell and Kelly Popenga have done a really good job scheming on the Malik Cunningham video.
Well, absolutely. It was a good blitz dial up there on 1st down to get them back on their heels. And now, after a 2nd down short yardage game, you've got a 3rd down and 8. Be careful here, Louisville. Do not turn the football over. Take care of that football, more important than anything.
Cunningham toward Jeremy Smith out of the backfield. Big fella toward a 1st down.
Go on, big fella. Man. Puts it down, little swing pass. You think for sure it's going to maybe gain 5 and force a 4th down and 3. Instead, it's a 1st down. Everybody covered down the field, and a good job just dumping it out to the safety, and that's what you get. Guys overrunning. Watch all these orange jerseys overrun, and that's the point I was just making on the punt return. Everybody's in those lanes. You create those vice angles. You can't overrun. Great break on the football, but 3 guys overrunning. That costs you a first down.
Timeout.
15 minutes in the books in Charlottesville. Yeah! No score yet, James. Cavaliers and Cards in the ACC. Back after this. We go to the second quarter. Quick check of our game summary. Louisville's on its 3rd possession, but you see mostly 2 possession stats for both schools.
Well, that was the first 1 of 4. Now on 3rd down. First 3rd down conversion that they've had in this football game there as we ended the first quarter. And boy, was it a big one. A simple little swing pass. And a fresh set of downs to start the second quarter.
Oh, look at this. Empty set now for Cunningham. 3 to the wide and 2 to the boundary here, James.
Watch out now, Mr. Mack. May get a one-on-one in situations like this. The quarterback draw.
Trying to go inside on the screen package. Marcus Riley taken down behind the line. Virginia played that very well. Jordan Redmond, the big 320-pound nose out of Osceola High School down in Kissimmee, Florida.
The Cowboys. Know about those Cowboys, and you're going to take a look at it, the little screen, and a good job there of everybody bottling them up. But you got to be careful because they can come back. The pursuit was so good, sometimes it can be too good. You give them a little pump there, and you could have something across the middle of the field to get all those bodies flying out of there. Be careful.
Loss of 2. Cunningham. Intercepted Snowden. Charles Snowden inside the 40 toward the Louisville 30. First career interception for the sophomore.
He's not giving it up either, is he? Here he is, just going to go into that drop, a drop back pass, and he watches those eyes of Cunningham. And it's simple, just like practice, does an excellent job of tucking it in. It's a defense that could have had 2 interceptions in the first half. Last week against Ohio, they had 1, could have had 2 more. Nice play on the ball, tucks it away in that outside arm, goes to the sidelines and gets some yardage. And Malik Cunningham just staring down that receiver again. The growing pains. We know he can run. We know he can make this team, give him some juice, some energy. But he's got to be able to throw it as well.
23-yard return, and now Perkins will pick up 7 on first down. Chandler Jones, true freshman, makes the stop from the Louisville secondary.
Read that handoff to Ellis and then just follow that back. And, you know, a first down and 10. You'll take that all day long. That's how you have better numbers on 3rd down. When you can have the big hitters on first down, make a second down and short, a second down and 3. That's no fun to call for a defensive coordinator. You do a whole lot of stuff to it.
Cowley in motion. Perkins going to keep it. Sprints right up the middle and slides for the first down around the 18-yard line. Jordan Ellis kind of helped him a little bit on the 7-yard run. James, this guy is a load now for Bronco Mendenhall.
He really is. He's deceptively fast, too. Bronco Mendenhall says he's the fastest guy on the team. When you watch Malik Cunningham tuck the ball and go, you say, whoa, you're blown away. You know he's flying. But there's a coolness about Perkins, even when you sit down with him. There's it's just a casual coolness and a confidence, and it translates over to the field as well.
Well, you recognize the size when you meet him out in street clothes, though, don't you?
Absolutely.
That's Sharp in motion for the Cavaliers. Straight ahead. Boy, good, hard running. Virginia that time. That's Jordan Ellis again. 836 yards and 6 touchdowns a year ago on the ground for Ellis out of Peachtree Ridge High School in Sewanee, Georgia.
Well, it's not often you can hear the helmets crack from the booth. That's exactly what we got there. They do a good job of getting up to that second level and blowing out Okiki there too. So again, nice job on all fronts there. The offensive line, getting them involved and getting them fired up. Nothing fires them up more than something like that one.
And another give to Ellis. Louisville standing right there, though. It'll be a loss of 1, Rebecca. 3rd down coming up for the Cavaliers.
And, guys, we talked about the importance of this being the first ACC game. When I talked to Jordan Ellis this week, it was an intense conversation. He said, look, we had 3 non-conference games to get us ready, but the real season for us starts against Louisville. And you can tell there's a little extra pep in his step this afternoon.
So now 3rd down for the Cavs. 7 to go. There's Robert and I. Kahuku, right?
Yeah, Red Raider for life. So we went to high school on the North Shore. Big third down for his offense here.
Perkins fakes the counter. And Dallas back inside. And Dubois the catch. He'll be short of the first down. And Bronco Mendenhall saw his squad miss a 32-yarder. This would be just south of 32. And here comes Mejia out to try another one.
Nice job by Cornelius Sturgill, the cornerback, the senior cornerback. With all this youth out there, they're trying to get him flying too hard on third down. The senior staying put and not falling for that trick play, the misdirection to force this field goal try.
This is Hunter Pearson, James. 28-yard try. And the kick from Pearson is good. So Mejia missed earlier. Pearson from Seneca, South Carolina puts Virginia on the board first.
Virginia squad. Clemson at Georgia Tech today.
Hassan Hall thought about it and then took the knee. Well, and of course, BC finds itself in a hole here in the second quarter today at West Lafayette, but you talk about the sledgehammer of all sledgehammers in the ACC, James. You're talking about A.J. Dillon, aren't you?
Absolutely. Over 2,000 career yards for the young man, and he's got a pretty good running back coach, I must say, in Brian White. Man, Brian White's coaching him up there on the hill. Jordan Ellis isn't too far behind him, averaging 127 a game. He's second in the ACC. And of course, number one in the ACC is Dillon.
And they're both top 10 nationally as we start play this week. First down give, and first time we have gotten a look at Trey Smith, who was in on the play where the interception was thrown. And he rolls off 11 yards there. He had 124 yards on just 21 carries a season ago. Bobby Petrino fitting to be in Louisville because he's got a stable of backs.
Absolutely. Trying to figure out who is that guy. Williams, Smith, Wilson. A nice job with the vision that time there by Smith.
Smith trips up in the exchange with Cunningham that time. Now, James, how much of that is Malik Cunningham first start, Trey Smith just coming off the bench here?
Well, let's take a look at it. You know, I don't see this anything unnatural from the quarterback. It's just, unless he's taught to kind of stay put and just truly spin it right around, and, you know, not exactly sure where they wanted that to hit, but kind of the growing pains, I guess you could call it.
Loss of 2, Dawkins the catch. Wrestled down at the 40.
You know, one thing's for sure, it's not like Trey Smith is the starter, has been the starter since camp. I'll guarantee you that Malik Cunningham and Trey Smith have handed off 200 times. It's just it's unfortunate there, but you don't lose the football. Gain on second. Now here's your third down and medium. See what those Wahoo co-defensive coordinators, Howell and Papingle, dial up here.
Louisville 1 of 4. Ball is caught on the perimeter, and that's Fitzpatrick. Forward progress, I think, got to the 46, and if so, that's a first down. Bryce Hall handled the tackle for Virginia, and it is just enough for the first down.
Well, and it's a nice job by Des Fitzpatrick to run that route at the sticks. You watch us enough, you're going to hear me say it a couple times every Saturday, but you can't say it enough. It's not just for the offensive guys. Run that route at the sticks. Defensively, where are they trying to get? Where are they going to break that route off to try to move those sticks? They've got to have a third down. It's a young quarterback. Nice job by that quarterback, Cunningham, to get it to him.
First down, here's Smith. And Trey Smith picks up 4 to midfield. Louisville seems today, James, to have their first kind of run-pass rhythm offensively.
Well, they do, and you know what? I like the way Trey Smith, even though they got tangled up a few plays ago, I like his pad level, and I like the way he runs. You look down, oh, he's from Madison, Wisconsin. So I guess whether you're a Badger or not, you're still a good running back. There have been so many great ones. Actually, Brian White, who we mentioned earlier, was a long-time running back coach there.
Flipped out in the flat, Smith the catch, and stayed in bounds. Spotting run over there in front of the Virginia bench. Bryce Hall again the stop with the Cavaliers. Louisville has been fairly balanced This is their 9th passing play. They've had 10 running plays. Easy for me to say. This is their 20th offensive snap coming up here.
No, that was unlike Chris Peace there. He takes the wrong angle, gets out there in a hurry, takes the wrong angle, and then goes for the on tackle and misses.
Whoa! Cunningham faked the handoff to Smith, and a good thing because he got lit up by Alonzo, but then Jordan Redmond banged on Cunningham.
Is it Redmond or Redwood? I feel like he ran into a big old tree. My goodness.
Now watch this.
Alonzo back there in a hurry. It's, Malik Cunningham has taken already in this game a couple really big licks. And, you're young and resilient. Hopefully it won't get to him. But, man, you hold your breath when your quarterback takes all those pops like that.
That's Jeremy Smith to replace Trey Smith at the running back spot. And, boy, his second effort carried him out near the 35. Or down toward the 35, I should say. Looks like Louisville's about a yard short here on 3rd down.
Thanks to 34. It looked like it was going to be about a 3rd down and 5, didn't it? To carry that big body.
9th play of the drive, and the 3rd different back is Day Williams, who's returned now for the Ville.
Could very well be 4-down territory as well.
Williams the carry. And got stacked up and did not get the first down. Jordan Mack was the first Cavalier to the scene.
Excellent job. Bobby Petrino has some big guys up front. But the guys with the orange jerseys on, they go lower and they fight a little bit harder on that 3rd down and short, and they stuff it for a loss to force another 4th down. Good job by Mack, too, and not running up in there and getting tied up in all the junk, all those shoes, staying free, seeing a hole and going and making it. 1 for 1 on 4th down, Louisville. Let's see if they can convert another now.
Cunningham, bootleg. Will not get there. Eli Handback.
Here are the vice angles that we were talking about earlier. They didn't do it earlier on the 3rd down conversion when they made it happen. This guy is even deadlier on the outside. Look at all those orange jerseys. Nowhere to go.
3-0 Virginia. Eli Handback right there. Big fellow with the beard. That's it. Get a little drink of water, right, Batesy? You did the job.
Yeah, they did. Shoot, they swarm like that. You make Malik Cunningham look like Richie Cunningham. Happy days are here again. They keep playing good defense like that in Charlottesville.
1st and 10, off the stop. Cavaliers from their 37. Perkins inside, and catch is made. I think that's Evan Butts. Close to a 1st down, the big tight end. And James, that takes us to our Hardy star to watch.
Well, number 4. Used to be 33. I think he looks better in that 4. Hardy star to watch, Olamide Zaccheaus. Big man from Philadelphia running the show around here now. He used to be the go-to guy with smoke, but it's number 4 that's making him proud.
Without a catch and without a touch so far. That's sharp in motion on 1st and 10. Perkins sprints through the right side, around the edge, and out of bounds after about 7 or 8. Ran right through D. Smith. Hey, this guy's bigger than 6'3", 215, it seems to me, James.
Well, he certainly carries himself that way, and a good job chopping down there by Ellis to get that edge open for him. And there he's showing the speed. It's almost even on that play. It's a microcosm of who he is, the speed and the power. Just enough speed to get outside, but then that little hand tackle on the jersey isn't going to pull him down.
Queen Creek, Arizona is Bryce Perkins. Here's Zaccheaus. Going to flip it to Dubois. Going to throw for Perkins and couldn't hang on. Uh-oh. Bryce came up, grabbing at the right hand. And I think a finger may have gotten jammed here.
He's trying to pull it out, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well, again, you got young guys, you got fast guys. This is a fast defense, don't get me wrong, but it's inexperienced and they're young. And they try to do a reverse pass back to Perkins. And a good job by D. Smith, the senior, of staying home.
UVA, they're first.
They're going to look at the right hand of the quarterback. Well, it's 3-0 Virginia. The timeout was as much for Bryce Perkins to get his right finger kind of set up. And look at the pinky finger here. A little bit of a...
Wow.
So...
Doesn't look quite right. And he was telling the sidelines, look, we got to call timeout.
Yep.
Now...
So Virginia here on 3rd down is going to bring Brennan Armstrong from Shelby, Ohio into the ball game at quarterback. He wears 98, and this goes back to the whole Bronco Mendenhall earn your jersey number culture that they've set up. Here's Armstrong. He's going to keep it, and he'll get the first down, and Brennan Armstrong has got more than that. Inside the 20, down to the 12. D. Smith tackles Brennan Armstrong from Shelby, Ohio after a 33-yard run. 98.
Hey, great job. Not only to get the first down, but then make a couple guys miss in the open field. Keeping a hold of that football. You got guys rushing up the field. And again, a team that has had so much trouble getting off the field defensively throughout this season on 3rd down. And a 3rd down and short with a 3rd-string quarterback in there, they can't do it.
Here's Jordan Ellis. And he'll get a couple of yards.
And while we've got a chance, Wes, you mentioned it a little bit, but Bronco Mendenhall comes to town. And what was your number in high school? What was your number in the past? Even here is no longer your number. How hard do you work? And we're all going to vote on this pecking order of who gets to pick their number and what number they want, even if it's one of their teammates from last year. And, well, not saying that he doesn't work hard, but number 98, you don't see it very often.
Otto Graham wore 70 for the Cleveland Browns. I've never seen a quarterback in 90s, I don't think. Here's Ellis fighting for a couple more. Okeke will shove him back. Like a throwback.
There's Perkins over on the sidelines. Well, his backup leads him down. Another big 3rd down coming up. Lindell Stone is another quarterback there. He wears 36, which is a little bit better looking, but 98 got him a big pickup on 3rd and short. Let's see if he can do it again. They can get a first down at the 1.
Without the touchdown, longest play of the day, by the way, for Virginia's offense is that Armstrong run. Here's the snap to him. Play fake. Armstrong going to throw. Dubois had it batted away. Sturgill got a hand in there to knock it down. Cornelius Sturgill, redshirt senior, fastest Cardinal on the roster out of Memphis.
Well, they call him Sturge, and old man Sturge, the senior from Memphis. Boy, what a great recovery and come in there to knock that ball away. And Armstrong looking pretty cool in there. Decently thrown football. Not enough zip on it, though, as it looked like his guy had a step. Better defensive play.
23-yard try by Hunter Pearson. His 2nd career try is good. Pearson's hit from 28, now 23. 6-0 Virginia. Well, 84% of the offense. My statistician John Madry up here told me Bryce Perkins had 84% of their total offense when he went out with the index or pinky finger on the right hand injured. And James, Brennan Armstrong's big man on campus for the time being, right?
Yeah, Stretch Armstrong, because he can walk around like that old toy from the 80s with his shirt off. Keep doing that. Wow, that was a nice change for a guy who's listed on our charts as the 3rd-string quarterback.
Rajay Burns, or Hassan Hall, 19, working his way up the near sideline. And Bobby Petrino told us yesterday, Hassan Hall can run. And that time he snuck through a crack in the wall on the kick cover unit for 30 yards.
Virginia got away with a little face mask there.
Here's our Quicken Loans right play, James.
Well, the right stuff at the right time for Armstrong. All they needed were a couple yards. A good job by the initial wave, his lineman to get up front there on the draw and then doing the rest. on his own, but it did force a field goal. Pearson's 2 for 2 now after the Mejia miss. And that's the difference, just 6-0. So Louisville stiffening down low. This is a big series for the offense.
Out in the flat. Jeremy Smith taken down after a couple of yards by Eli Handback. Well, Brian Van Gorder's defense, which is still kind of going through that learning process, holds Virginia to 2 field goals on those red zone tries, James.
Well, and I think we're seeing here, not necessarily, this game, there's a lot of football to be played. It's 6-0. Louisville doesn't have to go down to score, but I think it's very important for them to just get at least 1 first down here. This isn't a Western Kentucky, and there's no guy coming off the bench this week for the Jews.
Ooh, Cunningham took a big lick there. Jordan Mack inside. Wow. Well, James, you talked about it a minute ago. Malik Cunningham's run into some bad ends here.
A lot of them. Again, you've got to be careful with the play call here. And Malik Cunningham has to know the worst possible thing is turning this football over with just over a minute left. You got to punt it. It's not the end of the world. Here comes the blitz.
Yep. Virginia trying to get him. Cunningham works to the near side and shoved out of bounds by Snowden. James Snowden, the contained guy there, right?
Well, let's see. Snowden, he's just going to come up and force him out of bounds. There was no contain initially there. A good job caving it down, but he's dropped into his pass route and does a good job, Snowden, of breaking on the ball and forcing him out of bounds, just keeping him in front with 3rd and forever. Another nice job by this Papinga Howell coach defense.
Wobbly kick from King and fielded by Davis. And with about 55 seconds to go first half, 40-yard punt, 4-yard return, 3 and out goes Louisville. And let's get to our Aflac trivia question.
Spin him out there. Where is he?
There he is.
It looks like you.
What year did Virginia join the ACC? Cavaliers will play from the 25. We'll give you the answer in just a moment. It's not as easy as you think it is. How about if I offer you that hint?
Okay.
Perkins returns at quarterback here, which is a good sign for Bronco Mendenhall.
And we're going to see how healthy he is here. If they just hand it off a couple times, it's going to go and catch his breath, see where they are at halftime. If he comes slinging it around, he's just fine.
That's Lamont Atkins in motion, and they're just going to run it with Jordan Ellis. Maybe a half step at most. Cavaliers will have to snap at least one more time. No time. Bronco Mendenhall has 2, but doesn't appear to want to use them here. And remember, Virginia has the ball to start the second half with this 6-0 lead.
You know, I think that one of the positives as you look at Louisville on the other side of the field is the fact that this defense, with all the new faces and with the injuries, guys filling in, they've done a good job of holding Virginia to 6 so far.
Perkins on the edge. Now going to cut it loose up the field and just threw it into the Louisville bench. Chris Sharp was the closest white helmet up that far sideline. So 6 seconds left and 3rd down.
You know, and you talk about all the youth, and here's how much seniors, these upperclassmen, these veterans that have been out there mean to you. 2 or 3 huge plays have come. D. Smith and Cornelius Sturgill, 2 guys in the secondary, both seniors. Thanks to them, they've really saved where they're trying to get them tricked, trying to fool them a little bit, but they've stayed home and played smart football, and it's been enormous.
Ellis trying to sneak around, and final play of the half will be shy of the 30-yard line. But the Cavaliers are going to take a 6-0 lead to the break. And a couple of field goals from Hunter Pearson. And our Carolinas, Honda Dealers of the Carolinas coaches interview coming up. And Rebecca gets a chance to visit with Virginia's Bronco Mendenhall.
Well, Coach, your defense has certainly done its job this first half. Is there anything more you'd like to see from your offense to get some points on the board?
Yeah, capitalizing on the turnovers and short fields we've had. Those needs to be touchdowns rather than a missed field goal and just a field goal.
All right, Coach, good luck in the second.
Thank you.
All right, Rebecca, thank you. Stay tuned. Hardy's ACC halftime report from our studios with Ashley Shamati coming up next.
Coach, just 88 total yards of offense in that first half. How can Malik Cunningham and company get going in the second?
Yeah, you know, our defense is doing a really good job, so they just got to keep us in the game. Offense, we have to convert those 3rd and shorts, 4th and shorts, and come up with some big plays. There's a time we're going to have to take shots down the field and make plays.
Good luck, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you.
Rebecca, thanks. Thanks to Coach Petrino. Bryce Perkins injured in the first half, James, but had some moments for Bronco Mendenhall.
Well, he did. Cool back there. He's thrown a couple, but run for a couple more. And he's what makes this team go. And then there's the injury, the throwback to him off the reverse. And it looked to be like a dislocated pinky, which, you know, it would be sore the rest of the day. But you see there, just taped up a little bit. Looks like number 3. The JUCO transfer from Arizona Western will be ready to roll here as they get the ball first to start this third quarter.
Joe Reed, 9th best in the ACC in kick returns at 17-2. And he's going to get a chance from the 5. 15. Whoa, look out. Cards got there in a hurry. Yasir Abdullah. My goodness.
That's my former teammate's son. By the way, that's X-Man's little son, Xavier McCray, Carroll City Chief. That's what they do, man. Zay McCray and Caven Walton. That's what they used to do when they were young on special teams. Go down there and light people up. So that should be no shocker. And now, hopefully, for Louisville, that's the spark. A big pop like that usually will get the team energized. Let's see defensively if they respond right here.
Perkins wants to throw. Taped up finger. Shoots it into traffic. And it's caught by Joe Reed out toward the 27. Almost 8 on first down. Let's go to Rebecca.
Well, guys, last half, Bryce Perkins had the 2 fingers, his pinky and his ring finger taped up together. He came out of the halftime. Just his pinky is taped up. It's in a butterfly formation over his knuckle. Former players here on the sidelines tell me that is a good sign.
Well, the other thing, too, he's got this, looks like a custom-fit Nike glove on there where they cut out like the other 3 fingers, James. We can see if we can get a better shot from our director, Lonnie Dale, and our great crew here. Here's Perkins running out of steam and flips it into the Virginia bench. Zacchaeus was the closest Cavalier to the football.
And a nice job here by the secondary for Louisville. Staying with those receivers.
Look at that now. Huh?
Yeah.
Keeps the pinky finger covered.
And he's always worn that glove on the left hand, hasn't he?
Right.
Yeah.
So here's third down.
Might be something, too. Just keep the swelling down. You keep it compressed a little bit. It was a 3rd and short that his backup, Armstrong, came in and made the big run on a 3rd and short. Big stand here defensively for Louisville.
Here's Zacchaeus. First time he's touched it today. And Olamide will have the first down beyond the 37. Cornelius Sturgill playing in that secondary stops him after 10.
Well, you knew it was a matter of time, even though for the Louisville defense, it was all eyes on number 4 after that 247-yard receiving performance last week against Ohio. And you're right, a good job by Dubois to get him some extra room after the first down. That's an easy pickup, too easy, really, for a defense that should be focused on number 4.
There's Sharp out of the backfield in motion. Flip it to Zacchaeus again around the corner. And a flag goes down as Olamide picks up about 3. And where that flag is thrown, neighborhood of hold, typically, and David Epperly is already with the preliminary indicator.
Holding on the offense. Number 8, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Hassis Dubois from Irvington, New Jersey. Guilty there. Dubois, by the way, came into the game with 13 catches, James. He had 16 all of last year. And 1 today, so.
Bronco Mendenhall is well-read, so he knows that the translation, Dubois, means, what the heck, man, we can't have that here in that situation. A lot of people don't know that. But you can't. And the guy that was held, they were double-teaming. No need to hold.
Here's Zacchaeus, a little screen, and not much there, maybe a step or 2. And Louisville got there with Abdullah. Yep.
He is
Yasir.
Miami guy. A lot of guys from the Sunshine State.
How is it, by the way, that your former Florida teammates' kids end up in Louisville? Keith Kelsey?
Well, it's, you know, Keith Kelsey, they're Gainesville guys. It's still residual. And I don't want to give it all to Charlie Strong, but he really started that way.
Oh, the Miami thing.
That way, and not just Miami, but the Floridians. And they found a good thing, and they keep on dipping down there and getting some of that great speed. And there's outstanding football players from the Sunshine State.
Here's Perkins. Call draw. And around the edge, but he'll be well short of the first down by about 7 yards. It's interesting. You and Bobby Petrino had an interesting talk about that yesterday, talking about staying that Florida pipeline, staying hot for Louisville.
Ooh, you have to. I mean, especially if you've got an in. And you know, you look at it, and these guys go up there, and they have a good time, and they have a good experience. You know, Keith Kelsey is a perfect example. It's when these kids come in on their visits, and they're all the Florida guys and home team up there, and letting them know that it's been a good deal. Why not keep milking? Here's a 3rd down and forever. They got to get off the field here. Know where those sticks are on 3rd and 17.
Perkins wants to throw here. Zacchaeus off his hands. Intercepted. Going back the other way is Rajay Burns. And Louisville's going to have it 1st and goal inside the 5. Ball went off the hands of Zacchaeus, picked by Rajay Burns, and the sophomore transfer from Ohio State puts Louisville in goal-to-go situation.
Here's a guy that had 85 catches a year ago, and Zacchaeus, this senior, with a huge mistake, not only with the drop, but just sets it up there nicely for Burns, and Burns knows what to do for an offense that's been struggling to move the football a little bit. Here you go, fellas. Let me get you down knocking on the door, and a chance to take the lead now here early in the 2nd half. Cunningham, or Puma pass rather, and Louisville.
How about this? Jawan Puma pass at quarterback. 1st down give, and that is Jeremy Smith knocked down after a yard or 2. So Puma pass, who had not played at all today, in a goal-to-go situation. Bobby Petrino puts his redshirt sophomore from Carver High School in Columbus, Georgia, into the ball game. Jumbo package for Louisville, and Smith stopped again at the 1. Cavaliers, Zane Sandier pulling him away.
Zane Sandier has done a good job there, the sophomore linebacker who was behind Micah Kaiser, former safety in high school. Good job on 2nd down. ZZ stop.
They take Trey Smith, bring Trey Smith in. James take Jeremy Smith out. Play clock down to 15 as pass goes to work. 3rd and goal. Three tight ends, all to the left. Smith back inside, nothing. Zandier, Mack, and Henbach. Sounds like a law firm out of law school.
Watch Mandy Alonso fight to stay low. He's going to come over here. He's going to stay low. He's going to crawl on his hands and knees to get penetration. He's filling in for Bernie, who was hurt and couldn't go. That's an excellent effort. And then look at that second wave getting over there. Handback coming from across the way. Are you kidding me? What a goal line stand for this defense.
20-yard try for Blanton Creaky. On the year, 3 for 3. And the kick from Creaky is good. Louisville on the board. Both schools have had red zone stops. Virginia just showed the cards their hand back after this. 6-3 our scores. We welcome you back downtown Charlottesville on a beautiful September Saturday with James Bates, Rebecca Capel, Dave Barringer, our producer, Lonnie Dale, our director, our great ACC football crew, West Durham at Scott Stadium. And Virginia gets a red zone stop defensively, James.
I can handle this. Couple goal line stands in a football game. That was all right.
And the kick from Creaky. Joe Reed on the run at the 12. Reed 20, 30, And the white shirts greet him about the 32 and push him back. But the story of the goal line stands, Zane Zandier.
You know, as a sophomore, so many times you see him just kind of staying out of that mix. Here he fills the hole in a hurry and stands straight up. You can't tackle low on the goal line because they'll fall forward and get into the end zone. Second play there, he does an excellent job of padding him up high. Look at him. Got the cowboy collar on. Yeah! Yeah! You didn't hear my ZZ Stop joke.
What's that?
ZZ Stop. Zane Zandier. Stop.
You gonna hand that to the marketing folks here?
It was Jim's idea.
Okay. Here's the cutback from Reed, and that'll get him a couple of yards. Boy, this is, James, our 4th game of the year. This has been as physical a football game as we've seen so far this year.
It really has been, you know, and this is the way football used to be. I mean, you used to, like, it's been a while since we've really heard them popping way up here. But, I mean, you've got them huddling up. Bronco Mendenhall, Coach Anai's offense, they get in that huddle, they come out with all the tight ends. Physical football. Big bodies on the offensive line for Louisville as well.
Here comes Perkins, had Zacchaeus and tried to reroute, and nothing. In fact, lost a yard or two. Benjamin, Dumerville, Jean. There's Brian Van Gorder. Familiar face in college football circles, defensive coordinator, first year with Louisville.
Watch Dumerville, Jean. He's not going to get much resistance. I was going to say he makes a good play, but he just doesn't have to move very far.
His uncle is Elvis Dumerville, who was, of course, one of the great Louisville Cardinals.
Played for my dad in Denver.
Perkins down the seam, and Butts hung on. Evan Butts, the tight end, with a first down catch. Wow. Perkins puts a little smoke on this one, James.
Well, he has to, and Butts has to do a good job of looking it in. He's the veteran. It's a nice job, too, by not going up too high by Chandler Jones, the freshman, but a little bit too late. And they'll move those sticks. Nice third down pickup, and that's exactly what you'd expect. You get a team held in the third down and long, and it's a punch in the gut for a defensive coordinator to give up that one.
Blitz coming. Perkins breaks free. Here goes Bryce Perkins. Hurdles a man inside the 15. D. Smith broke down to make the play, and Perkins goes Edwin Moses on him.
Everything collapsing around him, and that's why you need some sort of push up the middle, and look at that athleticism. Completely whiffs. That's why you got to see what you hit, and D. Smith, my goodness.
36 yards.
The quarterback to do
yes,
it
sir.
all.
Perkins. Dubois caught it off his knees. Close to another first down. As Virginia is driving on the brilliant play by Perkins, and now the throw to Dubois for 10 yards. And we go under 7 minutes to play, and the Cavaliers are in the CPI security red zone.
Nice job by Dubois, who had the mistake earlier. The ball goes off his hands. I beg your pardon, that was Zacchaeus earlier. Dubois had a drop earlier, but this one he goes down and catches it off his pads. Had the big body on the inside, 6'3", 210 to get him down low.
Ellis. Boy, into a stack, headed by Cabin. Second and goal coming up for the Cavaliers. Bronco Mendenhall told Rebecca, going to the locker room, can't have field goals, got to have touchdowns.
And he also said, we need to have some big plays. And big play that wasn't quite designed to go that way, thanks to Bryce Perkins. You don't need your pinky to do that, do you?
No.
Tuck it and go.
Or hurdle the guy. Two tights, that's Dubois in motion. Perkins, wide open, Chris Sharp.
Sharp's just going to come right out of the backfield and Without a doubt, it's a miscue defensively. Someone missed an assignment. And we've talked about it ad nauseum here in this broadcast, just the youth, the growing pains of having a young defense. Nobody there for him, and way too easy. But it all started with the big man. 3 is the magic number. You don't need a pinky to do this, do you? Nah. Just rub some dirt on it. The quarterback, the Warrior, doing it all right now.
13-3 our score. Virginia just gets a touchdown sparked in play. Sparked by the play of the quarterback, James. There's Thor. Now, what are you telling me about quarterbacks?
Yeah, it sounds silly until they explain it. And Robert and I explained to us yesterday, they don't want dual threat guys.
Right. In fact, he got mad when we said dual threat.
He said, don't call him a dual threat guy, call him a quarterback, as in Thor.
What is this?
I know I look a lot like Brad Pitt, but it's even better than that. Our Jimmy John's freak performance was the quarterback, the most explosive guy on the team.
Hammer?
The fastest guy on the team.
Pitt Fiddleman with the hammer.
And here's your freak performance. It's freaky fast, freaky strong, and freaky athletic. And, oh, yeah, by the way, he can throw, too. And that's what they want that quarterback. Remember, Bronco Mendenhall and Robert and I back at BYU, it was Taysom Hill. Yep. That's their quarterback. He said one hadn't come around since way back to the days of Steve Young, to show you how rare they really are. You don't see them very often, but they found one in Bryce Perkins, they feel like. And he said Tim Tebow would make a nice quarterback.
Sure. So no dual threat. You got to be a quarterback.
I guess so. You know, it's kind of all the above. I see it as much as anything as, you know, Warrior-like. Yeah. Strong, tough, going to lead the charge truly, top to bottom. But I had never heard of a quarterback until then.
Here's Trey Smith as Puma pass is returned to quarterback Louisville here. Remember, he took over after the interception from Burns, James. And then Virginia, of course, stymied Louisville's goal-to-go situation. But pass is back out again. And there is the 6'4", 231-pound redshirt sophomore, Jawan Pass, better known as Puma. And we had a chance to see him last year in a couple of ball games that we did, James. So we kind of had an idea of what he looked like in the offense, but the struggle has been real for Pass through those first 3 games. Now he wants to load and throw, and caught. And that is Fitzpatrick in the middle of the field for a Louisville first down at the 47 of Virginia.
And good for him. My goodness, the poor kid, you know, week 2, it's the monsoon, the pouring down rain, and it wasn't a really good outing. After a decent performance, Bobby Petrino said that Pass wasn't bad against the nation's best team, the Alabama Crimson Tide. And then early on last week, they were going to play Malik Cunningham, a couple drops, and it was all Malik Cunningham, not just for that game, but it was, hey, the rest of the way it could end up being him. And even Petrino said, you know, I felt really bad for the kid, but he's handled it okay in practice this week. And what I mean by that is it was a lot of people were upset, and justifiably so, of the way he reacted to the benching for the rest of the game. He put there and he sulked with the towel on his head. He said, you know, I tried to hide it, but I was just devastated, really, and just really sad. I mean, think about that. You're the next Lamar Jackson in this system, and then that rug is pulled out from underneath you. And so it's good to see this, at least, him get a chance. It was a tough day for the Pass family as his brother was ejected earlier with the targeting call.
Looking for time, wanted to throw it down the field, and Steph gets it to Trey Smith on the far side. And then he got hit by Jordan Mack. So it'll be 3rd down coming up. Rebecca, the interesting dynamic of Malik and Puma compounded by their friendship, right?
Absolutely. I mean, Puma was one of the guys, along with Lamar Jackson, that hosted Malik. So they're really good friends to this day. And as following up to what James was saying, I was watching Puma on the sidelines to start the game and all through the first half. He was engaged. So he was ready to go into this game whenever he needed to.
3rd down. Pass hit as he throws. Ball caught. Jalen Smith inside the 30. Thornhill the stop at the 28, a 15-yard throw.
Well, Wes, Rebecca, that's a huge, an offense that has not seen many of these, especially on a 3rd down and long. Pass, the bigger of the 2 quarterbacks, stands in there strong, hits the receiver, and oh, by the way, Jalen Smith hanging on to one for the big man this time around, and things are rolling. Here's a little bit of a spark now coming from number 4 instead of number 3.
His pass incomplete to the far side. He was looking for Mickey Crum, his fifth-year senior tight end.
You know, and
there's Lonnie Galloway, James. He and Mike Summers co-coordinate the offense for Louisville.
Right, and Summers and Galloway and Petrino, all three involved in this play calling. And how much bigger is that playbook when you've got number 4 in there?
Absolutely.
You've got a freshman in there, Malik Cunningham, and yeah, he's special. He can do a lot of things, but he's not ready yet to have the whole book there.
Hassan Hall, first carry of the day for Hall. And he'll break inside the 20 to the 16. That's a 12-yard run.
Late flag
for the young man from Jackson High School in Atlanta.
Number 72, 10-yard penalty, second down.
Well, and there's Lakeus McNeil, who plays in his 42nd career game today at right tackle, being flagged here.
Going to be on the left side. There he is, that left tackle. You know, that's just a domination. That's not on Lakeus. That's a shame. That's a tough one.
Yep. Second and long after the penalty. Pass, cranks it up, shoots it downfield, intercepted. Bryce Hall the pick. Coming back up the field, he'll get pulled down at the 38. Second turnover of the day for the Cards. Pass throws his 5th interception. 10-point lead for Virginia in the ball.
Well, it certainly looked like Louisville was going to go down and make this thing interesting in the third quarter. Here's the pressure. Falmouy low on the quarterback pass, and shouldn't have had too much to do with this. This is just a wrong read, throwing into zone coverage, triple coverage really, as 3 guys are there, 2 trailing the intended receiver, watching him the whole way. Bryce Hall was squatted down on it, and it's an easy pick for 34. So a defense that had a couple would-be interceptions dropped against Ohio, hanging on to him here today. The second pick of the afternoon, and what a big one here for this offense. Defensively, the youngsters be asked one more time, get off this field.
Little flip here in the flat. Ellis keeps his feet, and Jordan Ellis to midfield and more. Boy, tough there. That's going to end up being 12, maybe 13 yards and a first down. D. Smith, the tackle. By the way, James, Bryce Hall's 4th career interception.
Earlier, I pointed out on the goal line stand, Mandy Alonso, and the effort. Maybe didn't make the tackle on the goal line stand this time. It's right here. 46, Evan Butts, who had a big play earlier on a third down. Look at him continue to drive the defender down the field. That's P.J. Blue, the sophomore. Great effort.
Hall driving for about 3 yards into Louisville territory as Bryce Perkins has come back from the injury. Rebecca been very effective.
He sure has. That's that Thorder back there for you. Part superhero, part quarterback. Coaches say when Bryce arrived on campus, he was power cleaning more than some of those guys on the offensive line, and he was constantly challenging them in the weight room, which just made everyone up their game.
Well, he's taken the entire offense to another level, James, here in these 4 ball games. And now a little flip to Lamont Atkins, and he'll be close to a first down. In fact, we'll have it. Now a flag comes in as Atkins run out of bounds at the Louisville 40 across the way.
Well, Russ Yeast was the player that was held.
Holding on the offense. Number 1, 10-yard penalty, second down.
And Wes, boy, was he upset after that play, and I was upset for him because he does a good job of stepping up and trying to kind of set that edge, the corner. And then you've got Ellis. Watch, he's going to grab a hold of him right here. Does a good job there. Good leverage. It's going to force him back in. But it came late. I wasn't sure it was going to come, but nice job by the officials to see that.
So Sharp, who caught the touchdown pass, has come in the game as you see Ellis at the Virginia bench. Perkins flips it. Zacchaeus. And Lamade couldn't keep his feet. That was Russ Yeast there. Had Had a very promising freshman year, but it's been hard for the sophomore from Greenwood, Indiana, to get on the field this year in Brian Van Gorder's secondary until today, and we've seen him make a nice play there.
Time kind of stood still there for a second here in the stadium, and then you hear the collective, because there was, for a moment there, it looked like Zacchaeus was going to be able to stumble out of it, turn the Jets back on and run down the field. Just waiting for that big play from Olamide Zacchaeus.
That's the end of the third quarter.
3 quarters in the books. Virginia trying to go to 3-1 as they open the home slate in the ACC. Big play by Bryce Perkins set up the touchdown. Quarter 4 on the way from Charlottesville. 10-point lead Virginia has. 13-3 as we go to quarter 4. And our bad boy mowers covering ground stat, James. And Bryce Perkins and Brennan Armstrong, 2 quarterbacks, have a lot to do with that 136 for the Wahoos.
Yeah, just 2.5 yards a rush on the other side for Louisville. It all comes down to a 3rd down and 10 to start this 4th quarter, though.
Perkins across the middle, Dubois the catch. First down to the Louisville 40-yard line.
Haven't given enough credit to the guys up front. The offensive line, Louisville brings 4, and they don't get a sniff of Perkins. Nice pocket for him, plenty of room. Let that route develop. Dubois going to break it off. And right in between bodies there defensively, an easy pickup to move the chains to start this 4th quarter on 3rd down. Somebody's got to make a big play now defensively. The way the offense has sputtered a little bit, you want to try to keep it right here.
Perkins wanted to keep it. Flag goes down. He and Reed on the mesh. And it'll be a loss of a yard or almost 2. As Virginia will now have 2nd and likely 11. Let's check the flag, though. Here's David Epperly. He's talking to Louisville. They're going to decline it. Oh, hey, whoa, hey, whoa, hey.
On the offense, number 79. Penalty is declined. 2nd down.
James, hot donuts now.
Right now. You don't even have to go to Winston-Salem to get those.
Just goes to show you. We got college kids, right? You got one, I got one. You got a couple?
Shoot, my kids aren't getting those.
Free? Is me in college.
Well, it was a donut that Virginia, the defense, pitched in the first half anyway.
Who do you think we want to send over there to pick that up for us? Here's
Rebecca
Perkins.
likes him.
Yeah, Rebecca. 2nd and a dozen. Perkins in trouble. He'll slide down ahead of the contact. James, he plays the position with a physical nature to him when he carries the ball, but he's also real smart with it, too. I've been impressed with his poise.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, that's the name of the game. So much of it is just winning that turnover battle, taking care of the football. You've got the lead. So much of it, you go way back to the BYU days. So much of what BYU did over the years with Robert and I and Bronco Mendenhall was it would frustrate fans because they wouldn't always be razzle-dazzle, but they played good defense, took care of that football, and conservative with it. Make a big play here and there, but for the most part, just take care of the football, and we've won so many battles.
Blitz coming from Louisville. LSU stride. Joe Reed, the touchdown, right over the top of Russ Yeast. 44 yards. How about that?
On the 3rd down, they couldn't get to him with a 4-man rush. Way too much time for Perkins to pick them apart. This time, they come with the blitz. Man coverage. They still don't get to him. If you're going to blitz, if you're going to take them out of that coverage, they better get to the quarterback or at least frustrate him a little bit. Number 2, that's the one and the pinky because he can't bend it down. Boy, how about that? Bryce Perkins out of the game with the dislocated pinky to end the first half. He looks fine now, not only running it, but throwing it as well. Wahoo wah. Well, here we go. Man coverage. Down at the bottom of your screen. Joe Reed and Russ Yeast. Russ Yeast just standing flat-footed. It wasn't anything that was special, no razzle-dazzle, double move or anything. He just ran right by him. And when he's on you, well, it's too late. Too late to turn and go, especially when you look at the touch pass that Bryce Perkins threw. What a beautifully thrown football.
Delaney tried to trap Hassan Hall. Louisville will scrimmage from its 25. The interception by Hall is turned into a touchdown. And, well, this week, a lot of things announced. A new physical plant for Virginia Athletics, a new football ops center that will replace practice fields will go in the spot of University Hall. Strength and conditioning, sports medicine. You see the indoor facility, and look at the transformation that is going to take place in the athletic footprint here at the University of Virginia. Marker down is David Epperly and his crew talk.
Just what Thomas Jefferson had in mind for this athletics program, right?
Probably
after
so.
The play, a sportsmanlike conduct on the return team, number 85. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
Jordan Davis back up at tight end. Guilty of that. And so that'll take it down to about the 12.5. Carla Williams is the new athletics director.
That is number 85, first unsportsmanlike foul of the half of the game.
Watch the replay of the game last week. Carla Williams up there in the booth at Vanderbilt for a home game.
Yep.
Had to move to Nashville because of the weather.
And she did a marvelous job. And David Williams, the outgoing athletics director at Vanderbilt, he and his staff at Vanderbilt offered Virginia a helping hand. And, you know, it was interesting visiting with the Cavaliers yesterday because, James, that was not your normal road trip. A couple of different hotels, a lot of things that could have gotten chaotic about that. And they did a great job with it.
Well, then you look up in the stands, and there's really nobody there. It was I think it was Chris Peace said it felt like a high school game.
Yeah.
It's kind of the way you treated it. So, big play on first down by Juwan Pass in this offense.
17 yards, his pass, and that was Jeremy Smith. He got chopped down, and that was Brenton Nelson as Rebecca now stands by with Carla Williams.
That's right. I am here with Carla Williams, the new athletic director here at UVA. First of all, how about this atmosphere? How about this game today?
No, it's awesome. I mean, a Saturday in the fall, football, we're winning, so it's a great atmosphere.
Since Bronco Mendenhall and company arrived here at UVA, this football program has really improved leaps and bounds. What does that do for this entire university?
Well, first of all, Bronco is a wonderful person. He's a great mentor of these young men, and he's instilled a great sense of pride and discipline in the players, and they're responding. And so we hope to just continue to build on that.
He says he brought with him a new culture. Is that the type of culture you want to see across the board in athletics here at Virginia?
And it exists. I mean, we've got a broad-based program that's been very successful, and our football program is going to get involved in that and become a regular in winning and success, and Bronco's the coach to help us do that.
Carla Williams, thanks for your time. Keep up the good work here.
Thank you.
Guys.
Rebecca, thanks. Great to hear from Carla Williams, and pass taken down by Snowden. Charles Snowden, the big 6'7" sophomore, Silver Spring, Maryland, has had a coming out party here today, James.
Bobby Petrino talking with Pass. His offense just 3 of 10 now on third down. And it was Snowden, as Rebecca was talking to Mrs. Williams, that broke up the pass play on second down, and then turns on the Jetson runs down pass on third down to force this punt.
King toward Davis. Chuck Davis. And just shy of the 30. And we get a little extra after the punt. 52-yarder from King, by the way. 5-yard return. Cavaliers by 17 when we come back. Another big week of ACC All Access coming to you on your regional sports network. Duke football off to a great start. But how can they avoid last season's pitfalls? Jeff Fischel tells you about that. And Wake Forest off to an early start and a fast start in ACC men's soccer. Check your local listings for the time and station in your area. First down play, and Olamide Zaccheaus picks up a first down, about 13 yards, with the young man from Plainfield, New Jersey. Has not had many chances today, James. Louisville has steered their defense toward him.
Well, we saw the reverse earlier. Here they fake a reverse, and Olamide with enough to pick up the first down. 10:45 left to play here in this football game, and it's a defense. Again, it's an offense that's taking care of the football. They need to find a way to get a big play here, though.
Straight ahead, Jordan Ellis. That'll be 3. That'll be second down and 7 as the clock continues to move. Inside 10.5 to play. Louisville had won 3 of 4 since becoming a member of the ACC in these permanent crossover games with Virginia. These two are partners in the football schedule every year as divisional crossovers. Everybody in the league has a crossover opponent from the other division. In fact, 2 others meeting today, Clemson and Georgia Tech. They're permanent crossovers. They'll play coming up here at about 3:30 in Atlanta at Grant Field. Tight end right. That's Sharp in motion. Ellis again trying to get to the right side, and Louisville is loading the box up now. Virginia has not been, James, and look, 3 touchdowns of 75 yards or more last Saturday against Ohio, right? So we didn't come in here expecting to see that. But I think Bronco Mendenhall would say, you know what, we've had big plays. We haven't had as many big plays as he'd probably like to see.
Well, and that's one thing that on the other side, though, Bobby Petrino, he's used to nothing but big plays.
Right.
The explosive plays that have been almost non-existent on the other side. He'd like his defense to make a great big play right here and get off the field and give themselves a chance.
Perkins rolling left. Zaccheaus offline, incomplete, and the flag goes down on the play. P.J. Mbanasor was over in coverage of Olamide Zaccheaus. Ineligible downfield.
Ineligible downfield. On the offense, number 71. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
Marcus Applefield, a grad transfer from Rutgers.
Well, again, they had single coverage over here. Same type setup that they did on the touchdown, but unable to take advantage.
Rajay Burns waits. That movement that cost Virginia 5 or
False start.
Yeah.
Offense, number 37. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Yeah, well, see, Broncos pointing the other way, and the reason is you used to be able, especially on this punt team, you'd see guys replace that hand and jab that foot, try to get them to jump.
Yeah.
And you used to be able to do that. They've outlawed it since.
Offside. Defense.
Oh, okay,
number
there you
38,
go.
5-yard penalty. 4th down.
And that's a good reversal.
Yep. Cleaned up nicely by David Epperly's crew.
Now you've really got to be aware of 4th and short at midfield.
That's Butts, the tight end, who drifted in as one of the protectors. And here's the punt. Barnes. And he'll get to about the 22. Under 9 to go. 38-yard punt, 10-yard return. Cards with the ball when we come back. Well, Bobby Petrino's team, 9-7 on the road as members of the ACC, and here's their Logan's Roadhouse remaining road games. And boy, Boston College did not fare well today at West Lafayette. And oh, by the way, at Clemson and at Syracuse, no layup either.
Nothing easy about that road run.
Nothing easy about the Atlantic this year, and that ball off the hands of Fitzpatrick, the intended receiver. Good coverage by Juan Thornhill. You know, it's interesting, James. Rebecca, we talked to the Virginia coaches, and this Juan Thornhill taking on that role of Quinn Blanding. James, what a selfless act by a veteran player to make that defense better this year, right? And create value for himself at the next level, I think.
Well, and it sounds a little silly, but is this defense, is this team not playing like their coach, like they are coached?
Fumble of the ball, and Snowden, of course, falls on it. At the 25, Charles Snowden's career day continues. Looked like Alonzo banged it out of there, and then Snowden falls on the loose change. Third Louisville turnover.
Comes from the inside. It was Alonzo who gave it a little kick. The pressure there on pass, and it gets there in a hurry. He just throws it away.
Previous play is under further review.
Falmouth looked like he banged it.
Well,
the freshman from the island of Oahu. And then Alonzo with the kick save and a butte toward Snowden. Guys in the NHL love that thing.
And what they'll be looking at is if he was throwing the football. And I certainly don't think so. No, that ball is just, he's hit balls out. And Snowden, just a sophomore, just off the top of my head, he's got over 10 tackles, an interception, a pass breakup, and now a fumble recovery.
And if he runs up there, he can get some donuts. Right? If he goes up that hill.
Yeah, keep it going. Oh. Well, and this is something maybe that you'd expect from a young, inexperienced guy and a redshirt freshman in Malik Cunningham. But here's Juwan Paz. He's got to know better. You got to have that. You got to have that feel. That internal feel. It's like, hey, here comes the pressure. Let me protect this football instead of just dumping it down. And, oh, here goes Bronco again. Oh, hope he doesn't cramp up.
Now, when he first started, it was just Bronco who would have the arm up. Now, look, he's got, like, the team's with him.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. First down, Virginia.
Lamont Atkins, like the emoji. A couple of years ago, Bronco was the only one just standing down there with the arm. Yeah. He's got a pack of fellows behind him now. Perkins back to work. Zacchaeus in the boundary to the top of the screen. Bryce. And almost let it go. Got 4.5 on the play.
Careful now. You've played a clean football game. Don't get sloppy here. Bryce lost one on a fumble on a sack fumble last weekend and gave Ohio a chance. This one probably will count as a fumble as well. Wasn't sure if he had hit or not. It's not going to matter. They get the ball back.
Looked like Okeke might have jostled it loose there. James, the Cavaliers, as we approach 8 minutes to play, leading 20-3. And we can look ahead here if we like. They're Raleigh next week.
That'll be a heck of a game.
Wolfpack is at Marshall later today. Here's Ellis. And it'll be 3rd and short for the Cavaliers' 4-yard run as we reach the midway point of quarter 4 here in Charlottesville. Well, we gave you that Aflac trivia question back late in the first half, and better tidy up our business here as we move into quarter 4. Simple question today: what year did Virginia join the Atlantic Coast Conference? Now, the answer is 1953, and people say, well, that's the first year the league competed, so they're original members. No, the league was founded and played in the 52-53 season. Virginia joined in 53, so technically they opened their 65th year of ACC football today. And you see Ellis pick up the first down. And December 4th, 1953, Virginia joins. The charter teams were June at the Sedgefield Country Club in Greensboro, James. This is no joke. Now, they left the Southern Conference meeting and walked to the other side of the 18th green and had a meeting with like folding chairs and decided to form the ACC.
Wow. I hope they stayed off the green.
Well, no, I think they may have cut around the fringe. Yeah. First and goal. Perkins will tuck. And hurdle a man for the touchdown. For 2 in hurdles, James.
Boy, look at him celebrating with his teammates. The fans are loving it. Having a blast. This time right at the goal line. It was really the spark earlier in this game out in midfield. Here he does it again. It's enough for 6.
Trayshawn Smith will be on the bad end of the highlight tonight.
They might have to steal a little bit from Wisconsin if he keeps doing that. Get off your seat and jump around. Get up, and get down. 27-3, Virginia.
I guess you're okay, right? That's where he hurt his finger on the throwback to the QB.
Yeah.
So here's Delaney to kick it away. Hassan Hall at the 1, and will touch a knee.
Oh, no.
Down at the 1. No, he didn't signal for the fair catch.
Oh.
It's down at the 1. You have to signal for the fair catch. He downed a knee at the 1. And that's where Louisville's going to get the ball.
Of course, the new rule in college football this year, you can fair catch it from there.
Yeah, that's down there.
No,
you fair catch, it's at the 25. You touch a knee, you're at the 1. And this will be a teachable moment.
No, it's one thing knowing where you are on the field.
Well, good kick by Delaney, by the way. Between the numbers and the sideline near the goal line. Puma pass. Shoots it here to Devontae Pete, big 6'6" redshirt junior from Pompano Beach, Florida, and he's got enough for the first down.
Delaney knows what's going on there.
Brian Delaney, a sophomore from the Chantilly, Virginia area. He knew. Pass 3 steps inside, catch made, and that's Fitzpatrick holding on for another first down. Out to the 23, another 11-yard strike there.
So, does that have anything to do with the Jerry Lee Lewis Chantilly Lace song? Is that, is there
I honestly do not know.
Company?
Chantilly's just a suburb in the Northern Virginia area, James. That's all I got for you on that one.
All right. I've never heard of it.
And pass sneaks upfield toward the 30. And Cavalier got shaken up on the play. And slow to his feet, I believe, is Jordan Mack. Yep, it is. And they'll make a move there. Robert Snyder, sophomore from Lawrenceville, Georgia, will come in as Mack's going to jog off.
Hopefully it's just a stinger. That left arm kind of not doing a whole lot with it and grimacing. Man, I've been there, big man. It's no fun at all. But the good news is it's usually something you can pop right back from here. Should be okay, good to go.
Approaching 5 minutes to play. Virginia on the way to 3-1 and winners of their first conference game. Pass across, and it's caught by Tutu Atwell, and he got chopped down by Brenton Nelson at the 38. 9-yard throw to Tutu Atwell. Charterius Tutu Atwell, James.
Nice job here. Go low. Brenton Nelson. This used to be the shot where you would, without a doubt, would go up high in ear hole.
Another Fitzpatrick catch.
And, you know, Louisville's probably not going to get back into this football game, but this is huge. Just get some sort of rhythm going, because there was absolutely none offensively here in this football game, and there's a substitution barely getting out there to line up.
Cards in the middle of the field. There's Fitzpatrick again, and that was Thornhill, the stop at the 35 of Virginia, with the clock moving toward 4 minutes. 5th catch of the day for Des Fitzpatrick, who came in with just 5 catches in the first 3 ball games. of Atwell ahead of the collision with Thornhill. Louisville, by the way, will welcome Florida State to Cardinal Stadium next Saturday at 3:30. And NC State welcomes Virginia for a game that starts at 12:20 at Carter Finley Stadium. By the way, the Noles have the Huskies of Northern Illinois coming up here at the bottom of the hour. Incomplete pass will make it third and a full 10. Interesting day in the ACC. 3 conference games on the ledger, including this one.
Virginia Tech's not too far from here playing Old Dominion. Is that right? They're at Old Dominion today?
Yes, first time they've been over there since the 70s, I think, and overthrown of Atwell as Puma pass on the delivery. Since actually when Virginia Tech last played in the Hampton Roads area, they were playing in the old Oyster Bowl and not against Old Dominion. So Hokies back over in the 7-5-7, and you talk about a team, that program when Frank Beamer started to pick it up, James, and rebuild their fortunes, they did it with the Bruce Smiths and the, now Frank Beamer didn't coach Bruce Smith, but Bruce Smith came over to play for Bill Dooley, but it was Michael Vick, D'Angelo Hall, all those guys were over from that Tidewater area. So it's a big deal that Virginia Tech is playing over there for the first time in, about 30-some years. Now, Bobby Wilder's Monarchs, by the way, are winless in their first 3 games, hosting Virginia Tech today.
Bronco Mendenhall, a defensive-minded head coach, a defensive coordinator coming up through the ranks. He cut his teeth there with Rocky Long, who's now the head coach at San Diego State. They had a big win over ASU last weekend. You better believe he wants to hold a Bobby Petrino coach team to 3. Won't get the shutout here, but anytime you can say that you held Louisville to kept him out of the end zone. I don't care who the quarterback is.
False start. Offense. Number 12.
Well, we said at the top today that the 2-1s had very different feelings when the day started, James. Virginia had momentum, and Louisville was looking for it, quite frankly, after their 2-1 start.
Well, and how about the game? Florida State at Louisville next weekend. It's just, that would have shocked everybody. You say 2 teams searching, find out who they are at that point in the season.
Pass backing up, continues to back up, in trouble, and will throw incomplete. Falmouy kept grinding and grinding from his defensive end spot. And Louisville turns it over on downs after 10 plays.
Grinding and grinding is an excellent way to describe this defense here today. They have played disciplined football, and they have gotten after it from the giddy-up. A goal line stand mixed in there as well, some big turnovers, and they have frustrated this Bobby Petrino offense all day long. Bronco, nice pat on the head of Falmouy.
Looks like Armstrong's come back in at quarterback. And Brennan Armstrong, who had the 34-yard run in the first half, will slide down inbounds on first down. Rebecca.
Guys, it is time for our Toyota Tweet of the Week. It is a new post-win tradition for the Who's breaking the rock. After last week's win, Alameda Zacchaeus did the honors thanks to his record-setting game. UVA started this season with 12 large slabs of rock, each with their opponent's name on it. The goal is to break as many of these as possible after a win. It's just one more incentive to get the victory. And after the game, coaches and teammates all kind of decide who gets to do the honors. I'm thinking maybe Bryce Perkins might be the guy today.
Well, Charles Snowden might get on. Want to go Snowden?
Or Snowden,
yeah. But either way, maybe they'll hold it together.
There's Brennan Armstrong again. He'll have the first down. Clock toward 2.5. James, we're headed for a double dip of ACC football for you. Next Saturday, high noon, Georgia Tech and Bowling Green at Grant Field at Bobby Dodd Stadium in Midtown Atlanta. And then we'll put Evan Ludler and Takeo Spikes and Lindsey Rowley on the job at BB&T Field for Wake Forest and Rice. And another look at Sam Hartman at quarterback. And, of course, whenever you talk about the Deacons, you get to talk about Greg Dortch, one of the most explosive players in college football. and 10. And Jordan Ellis to work. You know, it's a credit to Dave Clawson that when Dortch went down with the injury in the Louisville game last year, Wake still got to the postseason, James, but this guy changes the whole dynamic of what the Deacons can do.
Absolutely. Look at that up top. All-purpose yards average a game. He's got almost 700 going into this Saturday when it comes to all-purpose yards, leading the nation.
Deacons, of course, were welcoming Notre Dame to BB&T Field today.
What time is that game?
It's just gone final, I think, or close to it. Notre Dame, pretty good lead with about 5:24 to go. Disappointing day for Boston College, by the way. Purdue has beaten BC 30-13 at Ross-Ade Stadium at West Lafayette. And Notre Dame is taking control most of the day against Wake Forest as they play the final 5 minutes. The head turner is in Chapel Hill, James. Carolina leads Pittsburgh by 10 with 10 minutes to go.
Talk about a much-needed win for a program.
You betcha. Here's Armstrong, slides through one guy, and he'll be close. 3rd and short coming up for Virginia. By the way, Rebecca, you're right about Perkins, the 2 highlight plays. The numbers on Snowden, James, 8 tackles, a sack, an interception, and a pass breakup today for Charles Snowden.
That's a tough call, right? I mean, that's impressive. To hold Louisville to 3 points.
Yeah, and you know, Rebecca, you got to remember the head man, the guy who makes the final say, he likes the defense a little bit better.
Right, that's right.
Just a sophomore.
Timeout taken here by Louisville for 3rd and short coming up for Virginia. James, after seeing the Cards today, Bobby Petrino, another disappointing afternoon. What do you think Louisville has to build from here as they get home to Florida State next week?
To be honest,
yeah.
Offensively, I don't know that there's anything but just a question mark. And it continues to be one great big question mark because it's not like Juwan Pass came in and did a little bit better. You know what? Hey, he's going to be okay. We can open up more of the playbook. You almost get a sense that you need to go into next week kind of like you did Western Kentucky, thinking it's going to be a two-way go. Now, defensively, I will say this. It's 27-3 right now. But those young guys on defense, to hold this team to 6 in the first half, they had a goal line stand of their own. This isn't a terrible performance for this defense. Young guys just completely beat up. You know, this early in the season, all these bodies that they're putting into place, playing some of these positions for the first time. A couple of those leaders have done a really good job, and they grew up today. And one thing I think that's interesting that Brian Van Gorder said to us yesterday, he keeps reminding these guys, you guys are going to play together for a long, long time. Let's enjoy growing. It's tough to enjoy not winning football games, but let's grow together.
Ellis pushed out of bounds. That'll stop the clock with 53 seconds left. 11-yard run for Jordan Ellis, adding to his tally. Well, Louisville will have another interesting week of preparation as they get ready for Florida State, and I'm sure the question at the quarterback spot will come up. Different set of orders and issues for Bronco Mendenhall's team, James.
Well, absolutely. I think when you see Bronco Mendenhall, and I mentioned it a little bit earlier, the thing that has to be the most rewarding, not only for Bronco and his staff, but for these players, is I think that this performance shows how much they've bought in to what he is trying to do here. It's been a very disciplined bunch. Just one turnover on the day. They played gritty, tough football time and time again. And they continue to scrap.
That's Tavares Kelly. Yeah, I agree with you, James. On that part especially. And the other thing, too, is it's evidence that the 2 years of building are starting to pay off a little bit for them.
Without a doubt. How huge. We were here last year when they had 5 wins. They were sitting on 5 wins with 3 games to go. They got embarrassed by Boston College.
Yep.
BC came to town. Then they lost. Who'd they lose to right after BC?
I don't know, but they beat Georgia Tech here to go bowling.
In that last game.
Yeah.
And it took some grit to win that one. It's been 14 years since this program has gone to back-to-back bowl games. And when they break that rock, it doesn't say back-to-back bowl games. It says Virginia Tech beat Virginia Tech. They haven't beaten them in 14 years either. First things first, they got a great big win here today.
Sure did. Bobby Petrino, Bronco Mendenhall, a handshake coming. Cavaliers win by 24 points, 27-3. Is our final here today at Scott Stadium in Charlottesville. Virginia goes to 3-1. And they maximize their ACC lid lifter here today after a interesting opening 30 minutes. Mendenhall's team scored 3 touchdowns in 5 second half possessions. And Perkins accounted for 3. He had 2 scoring throws in the second half and then the 8-yard run.